Hello and welcome back here. With Avengers 5, the MCU's original superhero squad will reunite on film for the first time since Avengers Endgame. Although there aren't many specific plot details at this time, Shang-Chi director Destin Cretton's Avengers 5 looks to be a historically large-scale crossover event, pitting thousands of extremely strong villains against the largest hero lineup ever assembled in the MCU timeline in a single project. Without a doubt, there will be bloodshed. However, Jonathan Majors' legal issues have caused issues for Avengers 5, since Majors was found guilty on December 18, 2023, of 2 minor charges of assault and harassment. Not long after, rumors circulated claiming that the MCU had severed its relationship with the actor and that Avengers the Kang Dynasty would now be known as Avengers 5 for the time being. Despite this, Marvel is still planning to move on with the film. The most recent news regarding the film was announced on November 15, 2023, when it was reported that the director of Avengers the Kang Dynasty had resigned from the role, leaving the project in a precarious position for the time being. This news was in addition to the rumors that the MCU was dropping Majors and the Kang Dynasty title. Avengers 5's director, Destin Cretton, who also oversaw Phase 4's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, is apparently in negotiations with Marvel to make something else, so for now, the film lacks a director. As a result, when a new creative assumes the directorial chair, Avengers 5's final edit will undoubtedly appear different from what it did previously. Depending on how long it takes to locate a new director and take into consideration any changes on recasting or deleting Kang from the movie's plot, Avengers the 5th of May face additional delays. Let's also talk about the expected release date of Avengers 5. Marvel moved the May 1, 2026 release date of Avengers 5 from its intended May 2, 2025 release date. If all goes according to plan, it will take place after the Fantastic Four's first appearance at the beginning of MCU Phase 6. Let's also talk about the cast for Avengers 5. Currently, there are no confirmed cast members for Avengers 5, since the MCU is said to have dropped Jonathan Majors, the lone character that was previously confirmed to appear in the film. If Marvel decides to recast Kang and his several previous incarnations, there are still a number of Kang variations that may make an appearance in the film. Here are all the possible Kang variants who might still show up in Avengers 5. They include Immortus, the once and future Kang; Rama Tut, Scarlet Centurion; Mr. Griffin, the suit-wearing Kang in Quantumania; Reptilian Kang the Conqueror; Victor Timely, if he survives Loki Season 2; and thousands of nameless Kang variants. Considering that the Council of Kangs may genuinely possess every degree of power imaginable across the board, it is quite the villain profile. As a result, Avengers 5 needs an Avengers squad to match. Although the whole roster for Phase 6 of the new Avengers is yet unknown, we already know who will show up. The new Fantastic Four will probably make their debut first. Their film is scheduled to release shortly before Avengers 5, and the remaining Avengers from the MCU should join them. There is a huge list, so who will the Avengers in the movie? There will be Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Evangeline Lilly as Wasp, Letitia Wright's Black Panther, James Rhodes as War Machine, Benedict Wong as Wong, Simu Liu's Shang-Chi, Iman Vellani as Ms. Marvel, Tiona Paris's Monica Rambeau, Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, Haley Steinfeld or Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, and lastly, Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang. With how Loki Season 2 influences the multiverse narrative, Tom Hiddleston's portrayal of Loki is a good wager. Then there are the supporting casts, which include America Chavez, Thor's daughter Love, and the full Thunderbolts team, which includes Sebastian Stan's Bucky and Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova. Additionally, don't discount Moon Knight by Oscar Isaac or Namor by Tenoch Huerta. In addition to them, we could see Awkwafina's Katie return, Tim Roth's Emil Blonsky and Danny Ramirez's new Falcon make a reappearance, Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury is probably going to make a comeback, and Harrison Ford's President Ross might make an appearance. And then there's the whole supporting Wakandan ensemble, which includes Ironheart played by Dominique Thorne, Lupita Nyong'o, Denai Guerrera, and Winston Duke. However, Marvel could save some of the other characters for Secret Wars, which might have the largest ensemble ever put together. Now let's also discuss the storyline of Avengers 5. If the MCU chooses to continue with the character even after splitting from Jonathan Majors, then strictly speaking, Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars represent the conclusion of the multiverse saga. tying together the loose ends of multiple MCU multiverse storylines for a major confrontation with the Council of Kangs. Given the reveal of Secret Wars and the original comic book arc's references to incursions in the multiverse, it seems likely that Avengers 5 is an escalation rather than a conclusion, one that sets up the true villains of Avengers 6. Avengers 5 is expected to fulfill the threat of the Council of Kangs hinted at in the mid-credits sequence of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, if the film sticks to its premise before any real-world issues arise. In the comics, Immortus used the Council of Kangs as a ploy to start a multiversal conflict in which he would ultimately prevail. The sacred timeline looks to be in danger as it seems the Kangs will genuinely band together to conquer the multiverse in the MCU. In a conflict far larger than the last battle of Endgame, the new Avengers will most likely band together to confront the many Kang variations that were displayed in the Colosseum at the conclusion of Quantumania. And now let's also discuss the movies and shows you need to watch before Avengers 5. They are Seasons 1 and 2 of Loki, WandaVision, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and lastly, Deadpool 3. The good news is that, at least in terms of storyline, Avengers 5 has the least homework of any MCU crossover film to date, assuming you don't want to rewatch the whole MCU before seeing it. Despite several assurances, the MCU has never truly integrated the multiverse into any of its releases in a meaningful way. Examples of this include the inconsistent beginning points and dubious follow-throughs found in films like Spider-Man: No Way Home, which accomplished nothing to advance the main story. Although Ms. Marvel and the Spider-Man crossover serve as a companion piece for the main multiverse narrative, Kang's plot would remain unchanged if it were skipped. However, you could be excited to watch each setup release to see each Avengers' path to the team due to the enormous amount of prospective characters in Avengers 5 and the whole new Avengers squad. That would necessitate a much deeper rewatch of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, contingent upon the final cast confirmation for Avengers 5. This is all if nothing else happens now. Otherwise, Jonathan Majors' issue has really created a mess in here. In terms of plot, Marvel recently concluded the second season of Loki, leaving the titular Asgardian to keep guard over the cosmos. Majors did appear in the series, but he did so as one of Kang's numerous variations. It's uncertain if Marvel will stick with Kang as the big bad of the upcoming tale and go the same path, only blaming the recasting as the appearance of another version. There has been increasing conjecture that the House of Ideas may completely abandon Kang as a result of the events of Loki Season 2. If so, Doctor Doom, a well-known figure who acted as the main nemesis of Marvel's most recent Secret Wars event, the storyline of which is being adapted for the studio's sixth Avengers film, is one that many fans expect to see make his MCU debut. Alternatively, Marvel Studios may decide to completely abandon the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars in favor of portraying them as two halves of a single narrative, similar to how they handled Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame. Instead, a young Avengers movie may be made as fans of the Marvels know that a team-up of the kind is currently in development. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you soon.